I'm from a larger family. So when you're talking in a larger family, you have to get it in, right?
Girl,
thank you. Okay,
I'm from a large family, and he not.
Kevin is from. He's a smaller family.
We chill.
We have conversations.
Mother-in-law.
It's very gentle conversations. He's used to that. So if there's anything elevated, it's we
good.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what happened? We're still talking.
Yes.
So it even took him a while to kind of get used to being around my family because it's like double dutch. You got to get in a conversation.
Oh my
You're
God.
having 5-6 conversations and you know exactly where they are. And he's just like, can you help me get into this conversation here because I feel excluded.
When I went
jump in
to California, where Bernie's from, for Christmas one year to visit her family, and the whole family was there, all 6 of them. With the grandbabies and the nieces and the cousins, everybody. I just sat on the stairs with the camcorder, was like,
video the whole thing.
This is amazing. I was like, this is crazy.
Never seen
it was like
great
organized chaos that was going on, and I was like, and everyone's just flowing like that. I was like, I have no words. I have nothing to do, but I'm just recording.
I would just observe everything and just jump in when I could.
It's hard though. It's hard.
It was an adjustment.
I didn't realize it.
It took me a while.
I didn't realize it.
She didn't. It took me a while to have her understand that.
Yeah, because I'm also used to, once again, big family, but then I also play team sports. So everybody has a role to play for the common goal. You're always expecting people just to like show up and bring their best and all of that. So it's. It was just a little bit different when we put our life experiences together.
So I want to ask you, Aaries, were you sensitive to his difficulty in transitioning that?
Was I sensitive to it? I don't know if sensitive was a word, but I wasn't.
Were you cognizant of it?
No, not until he brought it to my attention. And then from there, I felt like I know I had a reaction because of maybe how he presented it to me. Of like, Kevin, you got to get in where you fit in. And that was more so my reaction, like get in where you fit in. Versus what he needed for me to do was, he calls it a little bit more gentle. And I was just like, like you a grown man, why I gotta be this like gentle with you? But he's like, like I need you to like, let me, like, how can I get in? Like, show me the way. And I'm just like, just enter. Like,
he wasn't raised like that.
So that was hard. A part of
it. Took us a while, but we eventually realized this is how we can navigate and do things. It just took us a lot of trial and error to get to that point.
Did you what were you feeling throughout that process when Kevin, when you were being shut down and shut out or not really allowed to communicate?
It was
over talked.
Mm-hmm.
It was isolation that kind of came with that because we were, I love this woman. I want to the way that you saw me looking at Aaries was the same way I was looking at Aaries while we were trying to figure out how I can just communicate and be a part of different things going on. But in the same sense, I was very much rooted in, we got to figure this out because there's no, there's no going back. There's no doing anything else like that. And I think I had to just heighten the way that I communicated and learn Aaries to the utmost degree to just get to different levels.
Before you how did you do that? Because part of what we're doing is to try to help other couples that have taken the path, that are about to take the path that you have taken or are on the path and are struggling like you.
Aaries thought I was funny. I would take notes when Aaries would say stuff.
Wow.
He would.
So
we would have do what
you gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
And pull out the note.
We would have a thorough conversation, and just to make sure like nothing was lost in translation, I would read her back certain things, say, is this clear? If I did this, would this get me this? If you did this, would this, be okay? Write it down.
Did you mind that?
And then I would read back on it.
Once I understood him, I didn't mind because he takes notes. Once I understood the full picture of Kevin, but at first it was just like
why you got your phone out?
And then you throwing it back at me, right? It's like because all right. So this is the mindset.
Trying to weaponize my words against me.
That was literally it. Because our mindset was different. I told him, I would tell him like, even though I do it this way doesn't mean that it's wrong. And that's how he would internalize it, that it's wrong.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah. And so once we started I would say that's one of the techniques. Once we started to open ourselves up and understand that we are different, we are madly in love, but we are different.
Yeah.
Our differences are not like wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So once that mindset changed, I think our communication opened up and we were allowing each other like more grace, like more accepting.
And it did come with a lot of grace.
Yeah. But at first, I understand him now with the notes, but it's just like, bro, like.
So I would take a lot of notes and I would review them. I would have conversations and I would even, like, okay, if I did this next time, and then I would test it out.
Because I felt like his notes had a tone to it, like.
Why his notes got to have a tone to it? Why can't they just be his notes?
There were some biases in there with the notes because of the interpretation. I think the interpretation sometimes was coming from like a hurt place versus like bro, like what's the problem? I thought we were good, but it was coming more so like I'm impacted by this. And, like we got to figure this out.
So now,
go ahead.
You guys were learning each other.
Very much so.
Because that's the time when you come into the same household. That's the close quarter combat. My tongue always gets slipped. But you actually start learning each other. And then instead of looking at your differences as something wrong, you start accepting them.
Start accepting. Yeah. And that's one of our reasons that we did talk about in the past of not getting married so quickly. People say go through all the seasons together. Right. Without engagement being on the table, because once that engagement got on the table, like that's all we were doing. We were planning,
right?
After that, and not finishing the rest of the process. We were just like, we love each other so much, we'll get through whatever because we love each other. Like, no, you actually need some techniques to get through this. Like, you're joining lives with another person, and because we didn't have the history. We didn't have any mutual friends, so it's not like we could go and check in on, like, hey, how's, what's Kevin really like?
And the world was closed down, so we were getting that like, outside exposure to anything.
We didn't get to spend a lot of time with our families, together in the same space. So that, outside of being on the phone. So that played a big role.
If you want to see another clip of this episode, click right here. If you want to see the full episode, click here.